Off Absolute Times, that was Yoichi Murata with Stone Free. Thanks for coming through for another WeebCup as usual, gamers. We got 9 entrants this evening. We have 2 gamers in the room ready to go. No sense beating around the bush. Let's rock.
Get on to rock, get up to burn, stand with the pride, ever feel your desire. One day I noticed that my life.
Hello everybody, we got a lovely little WeebCup thanks to all y'all who've come through this evening. Thank you, Steve, the regular, coming through on player 1 side. Glaceon Plushie on player 2 side. I always check names I don't recognize when they come through, and I don't see any record of Glaceon Plushie ever entering a bracket before. A completely empty challenge profile. So we're in for interesting times. Unknown OD Bridget player from the looks of things. Maybe a WeebCup regular coming to us in the near future. Very nice level 69 Bridget.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts. Heaven or hell? Angie versus Bridget.
Gotta be silent when the intro rolls. First match, let's rock. Plushie immediately creating distance. Blocking, but caught off guard there from the looks of things. Just under pressure from this Fujin here. And rocking on up. Only to get supered. Looking pretty dire right off the bat. Woof! Listen, I know I play this character, but sometimes forget how much damage he does. So Plushie. Again under pressure. Out of the corner though, that's good recognition of when you can escape from this character. Good counter poking as well. Is playing around the Fujin follows pretty well from what I'm seeing. Jumped out of the fan toss there. Unfortunately, Steve just playing to smother the opponent in this this first WeebCup match, looking to start things off, sending a message. We'll have to see what kind of adjustments Glaceon Plushie will come up with. I want to see a little more of the yo-yo toss in neutral. I've been playing a lot of Bridget matchups lately, so I've had a little bit of time to look at the perspective of how things work in this matchup recently. I definitely think that if Bridget can establish a distance with the toss of the yo-yo, it can definitely make Anji's life hard. You know, Anji tends to be a little sluggish on the approach. Glaceon Plushie wants to create a lot of distance. There we go. We're seeing... There's Bridget stuff happening. Alright, alright. Ooh. Not getting caught with a cross-up. Steve has to work in now. I say work in, but it looks like Glaceon Plushie is doing the work for Steve, running in again. Super to break the wall. He loves to do that. Steve loves to IAD after a wall break and use a JK or something. Tell you, Glaceon Plushie. Okay, what a whip punish. Not gonna kill, but it's gonna do a fair chunk. Steve recognizes the -6 situation. And he gets the punish on the dash up with the Kickstart My Heart. Glaceon Plushie, I think maybe is a little bit too passive. Wants to play a little more in this mid-range where Anji can't quite skip neutral or fight back so well. Again, out of the corner. I think Glaceon Plushie's fundamentals are pretty good. I think the issue might be that they just don't have enough practice against the feral beasts that attend WeebCup on the regular. Ooh! Getting caught by the butterfly. Steve gets a nice confirm into that wall break. Chalks up match 2. From what one of my training partners is a Bridget who has a very, very good grasp of this matchup, and from what I've gleaned from them, Bridget wants to play really around that mid-range, wants to save up meter, try to bait out a fish so that they can backdash it, get a big 5H punish, and in general use the yo-yo to kind of bait out options from Anji. Excuse me, the thing did not update there. Moving on in. Match 3, potentially the last match of this set. Steve looking to make a clean sweep. We'll see if it comes to fruition. Not have picked a more melodramatic piece of music to start things off with. Really, the 6H start, interesting, and it's kind of paying dividends for Steve. Manages to rip that burst away from Glaceon Plushie. Ooh! Big close slash. Punish. Oh no, the safe jump in? Looking dire! There's a distinct difference in the amount of stocked resources right now. Glaceon Plushie appears to be just a little bit freaked out by Steve coming in. It's checked by the 2P. This could potentially be it. With the punish. Is playing fundamentals pretty well. Like I said before. Ooh, that could have been very dangerous. Forced to burst, Steve. Dash blocking in, that's the way to approach. And goes into the big fan super confirmed for the... Oh no, it dropped! Yeah, I think every last one of us was a bit stunned there. But you gotta stay awake for situations like that. You know, if you're asleep at the wheel. But that is a 3-0 for Stinky Steve. We're moving on to round 2. Glaceon Plush. We'll be moving on to loser side for one more shot at greatness, at WeebCup greatness. Okay, we have a bit of a twist here. Drax, who got 3rd in last week's bracket. Looks like they got 3-0'd by Bean Bagels, who one of our unlucky 0-2ers in the previous week's bracket. So interesting how things are shaken out at this time. We're gonna have our round 2 matches coming up now. Shadowgeko versus SleepingSnorunt. And after that, C-Drive versus EmoScoobyDoo. Let me shake on over to the scoreboard for y'all. I'll get things set up to look pretty in just a moment. Shadowgeko, if you remember, is a played Dizzy, managed to do quite well for themselves. Played them quite a few times. From what I remember, they said the ideal way to play this character, they believe, is to route around wings. I forgot. I forgot. SleepingSnorunt has that username. I keep running into them online, and they're playing under the Axel Sucks name. It cracks me up every single time. This is definitely going to be a funky match to play around. Giovanna wants to run in and use these little pokes, these 5Ks, these 5Hs, and Dizzy wants to keep her out, of course, but there is a secret weapon to deal with Giovanna running in like that, and that is Dizzy's 5H. 18 active frames. It is preposterously active, unnecessarily active. And you know, someone was asking me earlier, someone who doesn't play a whole lot of Stride, very much an old head when it comes to fighting games, plays a lot of poverty games, weirdos, champions, Street Fighter the movie, the game, was asking me what the point of Dizzy's ice field is. They don't know when to use it. So I figure always a good chance to brush up on what this match brings to the table. Ooh! Meanwhile, while I've been yapping, SleepingSnorunt has just been poking away and punishing the deflect shield. Unfortunate. Shadowgeko on the verge of victory. Not quite able to stop Geo getting a spiral arrow with that 5K, but Shadowgeko's using it to check other pokes from SleepingSnorunt. See, here's the thing, is what's confusing. I'm looking over in chat, seeing Taco Clears, I see they enter under the name SleepingSnorunt, and they have Axel Sucks as their proper name, so these people with all these nom de guerres, these names, aliases they use to commit fighting game crimes on other servers, it makes it a little difficult to keep track of things. In fact, Markiplier entered in the bracket earlier, and you may know as Gono, and entered, it pops up, then has to disqualify, says, oh, I need to leave. Ducked me in the tower like a week ago, and then was saying, I don't want to have a bad time fighting you in another Twitch chat, so... Man, these fighting game criminals. Ooh, Bedman. That's when I played... This is, I'm familiar with Snorunt's Bedman.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of
This is what I played the last time I encountered them in the tower. Hey, Aaron, what's good? Thanks for coming through as always. Getting the wings set up early. As I was saying earlier, Shadowgeko is convinced the best way to play this Dizzy character is to route around wings. It definitely makes the opponent eager to burst. Yeah, this Bedman is a funky guy. Oh, excuse me, I think I did get the things. I think I did get them backwards, unless... Am I losing my mind? Did we have a character switch on a win? I'm so busy yapping and trying to figure out what's happening in chat. I gotta check the records at some point. Alright, as long as y'all are keeping up for me. I'm an old man, remember? Or swap the Bedman, and it looks like it's proven to be the right decision. Ooh, not quite in range for the reversal to hit, but look at all this meter. This is going to be Bedman mixing and mixing. No error. Does keep safe. Snort has really good grasp on how to use Bedman's maneuverability. But I wonder what's going to happen if it's going to come to a zoning game. Both these characters have potent projectiles, just at different speeds and ranges, and whatnot. Like, Snorunt just needs another love tap, and that'll close out the match. Yeah, there you go. Whew. Isn't that always funny when someone jumps over the low at round start? You know, you think your Gambit's fancy. There's the 5H. It's so active. I keep saying it. Oh my gosh, you gotta stop mashing against this character. Okay, unless you want to just stop wings. We'll see how that's working for you. Down to about 25% of your life. But Snorunt with 50 meter does manage to check the movement. It really feels like Snorunt's playing around, just stopping the wings from happening. What a throw, back throw incident. No spending on the meter. Nice shot of a narwhal there at the end screen. That thing's adorable. I never really got a chance to look at it before. Not at that frame, anyway. Listen, there's no bias either. I know some people might be thinking something, but no bias. If you know, you know. Snorunt. Sticking with Bedman. Zoning his bed against the fireball sucks. Gotcha, gotcha. It's timing. Okay, okay. Input from C Drive, who's well-known Bedman player of big bodies, Bedman, Gold Lewis. After incident from shadowgeko. Gets the convert off the, Ooh, that was a really clever wall splat setup, the slum. And it is that ice field that allowed them to convert off that throw. I'll have to bring that up when I'm talking to my friend about how to exactly use Dizzy's ice field. I guess it just seems like with how it functions and its range and whatnot, it's a little difficult to kind of think it out, you know? A little difficult to just theory craft if you're not... What a duck! Just goes straight under it. And there's that fire knife. I see what you're saying, C Drive. The startup of fire knife can kill projectiles, and it definitely helped there at the very end. The ice field, it also can slow your movements, help with Dizzy's corner carry. I think I'm starting to see the vision now. What I'm seeing is how much damage Snorunt is doing. You know, all those active frames in the world aren't going to help you if they can beat that 12-frame startup to the punch. Just smothered at the very end there, Snorunt. On the verge of a comeback. shadowgeko is on set point, though. One more round is all they need. Whew. 5H. It's so big. And the error. Manages to catch shadowgeko there. Getting a counter hit. We'll see an error set up here, yes? Yeah, there we go. That really is what Bedman has to do. I've talked about it. You know, Snorunt wants that burst, and not as much as shadowgeko wants to spend 100 meter. Oh, not able to get the gamma ray out. The spear, I was hoping for it. But yeah, C Drive bringing up the pin error from Bedman, and that kind of has always been Bedman's game plan. Bedman needs to have a projectile stocked and ready to go to help control the neutrals so that they can be left to their own devices. Granted, it's a little bit better for Bedman and Strive. They're kind of able to do more, especially since projectile is very fast. We're going into match 4 now. Early burst from shadowgeko. And it really does look like Snorunt's taking a page out of the book C-Drive's been writing in my comments about how Bedman needs to spend health as a resource to just get in. shadowgeko's playing around these approach options, though, just using that 5K for the counter hit, excuse me. Not quite. The wing's almost about to go off, but, you can never tell. I don't think the wing's timer surely resets after you get a wall break with them up, right? All this minutia of this character, and I've never really looked into it. shadowgeko on set point once again. Ooh, just inside the spike range. Snorunt is taking this corner. Oh, it goes on pause at the timer. Gotcha, I appreciate it. So that meant the wings were just about to activate there, and Snorunt kind of managed to fight their way out of a corner. Woo! Right, I thought so. I appreciate the clarification. I heard the noise. Yep, I appreciate that. I wasn't sure if that was just a quirk of the, Good 5K. That 5K, one of Deadman's most interesting tools. Unusual, very disjointed, very active. Can be used to stop BRC in after a wall break or something. Now we're seeing the zoning game, and this is shadowgeko's game to play. Snorunt is trying to push their way in, but it's not quite working. We're seeing whip punishes and whatnot, just driving Snorunt to the corner. The wing, that lovely golden brown, we're about to cook. Oh my god. Ugh. It's dire. Risk is cranked. Shadowgeko does clean up, but no perfect. You know, got a bloody nose, you lost a tooth, but you got both eyes in. Alright, but yeah, Shadowgeko. I know not a lot of people believe in this this Dizzy character, but props to Shadowgeko for making it work. Excuse me. Did I miss a round? Did I miss a round? What's the score at right now? Am I getting duped? Is it 2-2 right now? Did I miscount something? Yeah, someone was saying, y'all have been gaslighting me, I was right. Yeah, someone was saying, asking about it on a... Alright. I've been gaslit. I've been tricked, I've been duped, I've been bamboozled. Little unusual, but yeah, if the opponent's okay with it, just keep me up to date. Alrighty, so, now that I'm caught up, it's looking a bit dire for shadowgeko. Down on resources, but we have a wall break. Good punish on the whiff task B there. No burst, so gotta hold this pressure. Hope they can fight their way out of these wings. Alright. Okay. As I said earlier, Shadowgeko takes 3. Alright. All confusion swept away? We good? Alright. Shadowgeko moving on. 3-2. Next, we're gonna have C-Drive versus EmoScoobyDoo. Two WeebCup regulars coming through here to you now. And you know, this looks like a typical match that you see in a WeebCup.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Ooh. They swap on me. Oh my gosh, I forgot the update. Sorry about that score there. It's interesting to see an early air-to-air from C-Drive. Normally wants to stay pretty grounded against Eno from what I've remembered seeing of the bulk of their matches. Good use of the BT after the YRC there. Using the frames to their advantage. C-Drive. Not really able to get, fully off. Ooh, good check. Ooh, okay. It might be over. Good use of the backdash BRC. Nice. Little bit of overhead action there. Going over the going under the note there. Oh my gosh. This is what Gold Lewis brings to the table against these low health mix characters. Just a couple BTs and you're gonna get flattened. Well, speaking of BT, we got BT in the chat there saying Gold Lewis potentially one of Eno's worst matchups. Ah! And the way the coffin swings, it's this humongous, rapidly moving, active hitbox. So I can see how it going around, like a front moving one, can just check Eno's hover movement in neutral. It can bully and chip her and crank wrist when she's under pressure. Oh no, it's too active. Good use of the flex shield just to get the big BT chains off your back. C-Drive pushing in, though, for the dub. First match. Oh yeah, Gold Lewis's 2P is one of the best anti-airs in the game. It's absurd. This move can check the shins no matter how far above him you are. EmoScoobyDoo does have a good sense of how to control this match, though.
Mankind knew that they can.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Had that first round very locked up. I think that if EmoScoobyDoo can play solid, we'll be able to turn things around, but it's gonna be dire the whole way through. Gold Lewis just needs to clip you once or twice to turn things around. If the RPS is stacked in the big man's favor, you get more and more scared to fight back. Look at all those throws that EmoScoobyDoo just took. And you know what? I'm not blaming them. And running under the Chemical Love, despite how the size may look, can run under Chemical Love. Alright, the mix is starting, though. The Eno mix. Goes low. Will get the hard knockdown. Oh no, I could see that 6H startup. 7 frames it may be, but not fast enough to keep you safe from that. Another good BRC backdash. EmoScoobyDoo. I don't remember how many times I've seen BRC backdash them before, but it's a nice tool in your repertoire. No matter who you are, no matter what level of gameplay you're at. Ooh. C-Drive. Again, getting checked with a couple of JPs. Oh no! EmoScoobyDoo seems to be having a little trouble with Chemical Love, just letting it rip in situations where it's easily avoided. Has the chance to turn around here. C-Drive, under pressure. And cracks. The Scooby-Doo aiming for the shins. Striking true. One on the board. One on the board, please. There we are. This is match 3 of 5 in our second round 2 match. Flip 2S! Going underneath Gold Lewis's poke there, and we're seeing a 5K brought up in neutral there. That's an interesting tool. Typically a low crush in Gold Lewis's repertoire. So it's going to be good to fight against Stroke and preempting lows from a hover. I'm not sure how it fares against Eno's other hover tools, though. We'll have to see more interactions at some point. Out of there. You know, could have been deflect that EmoScoobyDoo was hoping for, but Wild Assault in the opposite direction, you know, if it gets you out of whatever trouble you think you're going to be in and it works, it works. Maybe a little fumble on a super input there. C-Drive not getting down with the system on the wall break there. Out of there with a Stroke now. I'm starting to wonder if these forward-moving attacks that EmoScoobyDoo is doing are more planned than I thought. 2K. Ugh. You ain't kidding. That thing is ridiculous, isn't it? C-Drive, 2-1. Scooby-Doo. Back into the fray. No fears whatsoever.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Scooby-Doo drawing first blood. Ooh. There's the drone, the first time we've seen it this set. And, you know, that's one tool that Eno's got to consider. Can Stroke under it, but can't hover over it, really. Start getting predictable with your low-profile moves. You're vulnerable to something big like Gold Lewis's 5K, like I was talking about. D-Drive's starting to take control of this match. Really taking control of this match. One round from victory. C-Drive. Slightly less to work with on resource, but Scooby-Doo pops the deflect shield early. C-Drive gets back in for a wall break. Just going for a note, not steering it, just following it up. Scooby-Doo. Going for the super wall break. C-Drive has so much meter to work. Just gets clobbered though, the El Kabong. Drop the hammer. Oh no, I think I know what Scooby-Doo was planning there. Didn't quite work out under the laser pressure, but, you know, a raw super in neutral, raw Megalomania in neutral is very interesting. It looked like it availed for much, but Scooby-Doo does have the round. It would have been really funny, but I just do not think. It's just a little too slow, you know. Ooh! Note Megalo, gotcha. BT with the secret tech. C-Drive. Push to the corner. Going for the super. Scooby-Doo. Not trying for any fancy wall slump stuff. This goes over. Gets a cross up. And manages to bait out the burst. Oh no! Not quite! Oh, what tragedy it would be if C-Drive steals the round away here. Okay, spending on the YRC. Just chips it out. Scooby-Doo. No fear. 2-2 now. Pop a message in the chat here.
Mankind.
Okay.
Duel 1.
Yeah, the Eno left right. Like always I've always kind of been iffy on whether or not I think it's really strong, but it is definitely, you know, if you can mix left or right somehow, it's a great tool to have in your arsenal for conditioning or... Oh, wrong BT, that cancel. Not quite working in C-Drive's favor, but... Oh! C-Drive once again on set point. Just goes for the car door at round start. Little anti-air with the MLA. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, you love to see how high that move can hit. C-Drive playing wide awake there. 6P'ing the MLA as it comes in. Runs up for the scoop. Will we see a repeat of round 2, match 1 of this set? C-Drive just gets a million throws one after the other. Apparently not. ScoobyDoo fighting out. Save? Oh. A big uppercut, and that's C-Drive. 3-2 for you. Alright. EmoScoobyDoo will be going to loser's side of the bracket to play Glaceon Plushie. One of them will go home, but who we don't know yet. Whichever one does, I'll keep y'all posted, and appreciate you coming through this evening. We're gonna be moving on to top 8, though. Rain vs. Shadowgeko up next. After that, we'll see C-Drive return to Throwdown with Bean Bagels. Alrighty, Shadowgeko on player 1 side. Rain will pull up momentarily. Yes, this is a rematch, isn't it? Then we'll get the... Let's see. Tell you what, for as much as I rag on start, Challenge has its own goofiness, doesn't it? Drax will be playing the winner of our Losers Round 1 match. We'll have SleepingSnorunt versus Stinky Steve after that. I pinged. Yeah, I pinged. Yeah, I pinged. There we go. Alright, we were just waiting for Rain to... Well, it played Stinky Steve off stream, as you probably would have guessed. Tell you what, it's been a bit of a week for me. Had a rough Monday, but managed to make some Brötchen today. German bread. Had some starters sitting overnight. Made some lovely little rolls. Sunday, went to visit the grandparents for Father's Day. Spoke with my aunt on my dad's side of the family first time in what feels like forever. Unfortunately, I'm a bit of a cryptid when it comes to keeping in constant contact with people, so whenever someone reaches out to me for matches, I always appreciate it. I try to engage now and then, but cryptid behavior is cryptid behavior, not easily broken, it seems. Looking forward to a nice little bit of that German rolls tomorrow. Very pleased with how this turned out. Not sure how much more time I can fill for. Brain's too tired to do anything but churn. You know, sometimes you just hit that that point in the day where all you can do is churn. Okay, we're gonna continue cage. Okay. Alright. We had just a little bit of busy time to fill, and it's coming up in a moment. Appreciate y'all holding on. It's gonna be shadowgeko vs. Rain. As mentioned before, it is a rematch of a match we've seen a few times in the past. There we go. Rain is playing Kai immediately. You know, I've said a few times, Rain has been playing Johnny mostly in the past, and taking dubs for it. And I think it was a week or so ago, I was saying, hey, just because someone plays, you know, one kind of character, don't get too worked up over it. And I'm gonna stand by that. You know, play whoever you think, play whoever makes you happy, and at some point, if the character really frustrates you that much, just, you know, hold the L in your chest and pray for the patch. I was doing some, I was thinking about... Listen, you know, if you... I am like the premier of calling Kai 6P racist, so I will support you there. It's I don't know where that move was on January 6th. I don't think any of us can prove its location. But yeah, I've been, when you think about what your character needs, you know, sometimes you think of specific things, sometimes you think stuff you don't need, and you gotta filter out what your character needs, what they don't need. Hello? Everything good? You know? Listen, no conspiracy theories in my chat. And shadowgeko, already the wings are starting to look nice and crispy. You'll see them turn a lovely golden brown in just a moment. Nice use of the Wild Assault into throw to rack up that damage. Look how patient shadowgeko is playing. Just blocking it out, waiting for something like a stun dipper or whatnot. Not really trying to fight back too much. It is leading to some chip, it's leading to that wrist getting cranked, and that could be dire. If you people in chat, it could be, oh, nice pull. Use of the RC to keep safe. No, as I've been, longtime Sajam viewers will know that I like to roll up with incredibly cursed names, and I am absolutely taking this name for myself next time he's playing Stride. Well, I've been yapping. Rain is taking quite the lead, trying to turn things around from the last set. shadowgeko getting the wings up, has about, a little over 50 meters. Whoa! Kai hates fish. You know, you gotta be a special kind of hater against fish to wake up reversal of fish. You know, gutted, filleted, deboned, cooked with no butter and no oil. Ooh. Look at this patience from shadowgeko. Great use of the fire knife to stop the charged stunnage from getting in. Making things a little difficult to maneuver around with the ice field. Using burst, no blue wild assault on the table. These great buttons from Kai. Gotta be on the lookout for them. You know, if you got a few minutes before the next match, run it by in training mode, figure it out. It's a big starter from shadowgeko there. Putting Rain not through the wall, just keeping the slump there. Fire Knife pressure, not as oppressive as it used to be, but it's still getting the job done. Rain. Using the close slash pressure. Finding the close slash. Rain has burst though. We could see a projectile try to squeak it out, or we could see the burst come out properly. Ah! Looks like a trade. I'm not quite sure what traded there. Maybe a 6P? Nah, maybe? Not 100% sure. Shadowgeko takes the first match there. It may have been a 5K. I tell you. Listen, you can't say that sentence about Kai. Too many people, I've seen the posts on Blue Sky. People will go nuts over that. But yeah, I think it was Steve was saying earlier that Shadowgeko's making them a dizzy believer. I'm starting to see the vision too. Up one. It's generally pleasant on Blue Sky. I'm just referring to, like, crazy things people say about Kai on that platform. Shadowgeko with the wings. Rain. Surely will burst. No, just checks the wings. That was a really good challenge. It's not something I would have thought about doing. Normally, if I'm staring down someone who has the wings up, I'd be terrified to do anything. Ooh, there's a DP. Back throw incident. Dangers of being 2+. Don't think... Yeah, Shadowgeko didn't hit... No, Shadowgeko a little too early there. Very unfortunate, not able to get the punish on RTL. There it is, the 6P. I'm gonna cut my sentence short right there. I was thinking about how to finish that, and not a single one thing I came up with sounded good. Look at this, keeping the lockdown. Not quite close enough to get the big crunch from the wings, but does manage to get a nice big bite out of that life bar to close things out. Managed to close in later, having more, remember, more meter the longer the wings last. Big close slash. Ooh, not spending super. Oh no. Again, Rain not spending the meter. I think I'm just checking. Ooh. Talking about how active that 5H is, you gotta be careful. Under the wing pressure. And the Blue Wild Assault. Just DP's out.
Why would you say that in my chat?
Good lord. Like, the way you're talking, it's like you know exactly what people say about Kai on Blue Sky. You were just saying you didn't. Man, it's 1-to-1 now, and people are, like, fiending for something in my chat. I'm just kind of stunned, you know, that that's something that actually got said in my chat. 1-1 now. Again, that 5H. Ooh, gets the burst early. This is going to be a great situation for shadowgeko to set up the wings. Rain. There's one thing I know about Rain, it's that she knows how to... She knows how to dig deep in situations where she's on the back foot. You people are absolutely out of control in chat. shadowgeko putting a lot of 5Hs out. Look at all this stuff on the screen. All these ice spikes, all these fireballs, all these fish, all these 5Hs. Listen, I'm not shaming anyone for anything that they put here, but it is very distracting. It feels like this is kind of how the last match played out as well, where shadowgeko gets a nice big, a dominant first round, and then Rain manages to bring it back. Ooh! For the most visually impressive counter hit of this set. Just checking the Sun Dipper. Ooh. Ooh. Not able to get the wings out. Just managing to block and maybe try to counter poke and keep Rain in. Okay, Rain doesn't want any of this. Can't really use the Scum Dipper to skip. Golden Brown up the wings. The throw tech on the wing. Oh, there it is. You know, if the wings ain't gonna turn golden brown and melt you, you're gonna get cooked one way or the other. It's totally unnecessary. You had like 1 health point left. Yeah, you know, I should have hit you with the alrighty, chat. But yeah, that definitely killed. We'll see if Rain... No, Rain's sticking with Kai. Rain's last gasp. shadowgeko 2 rounds from victory now. Maximizing meter gain. Gonna poke our way in while no resources, no wings are there to deal with. And this is the passivity we're seeing from shadowgeko, just the desire to hold down back and get scooped rather than try and fight back too much. This is great recognition of the situation after that BRC, but the situation just too much in Rain's favor. Wings up. shadowgeko looking to build the meter necessary, make the wings big and scary. And Rain just pushing into the wings range and getting caved away. It's very interesting how shadowgeko is using wings. Uh-oh, getting in. The wings are hardly even necessary there, but I appreciate the recognition of the situation. The wings are about to pop and you can go in. shadowgeko has a bunch of stuff on screen. Kai hates fish. He cannot stand them. Ooh, just running into the 5H again. Good conversion. Putting so many things on screen. Rain, it's looking dire. Oh, chat, you're cracking me up. Ooh, just 6B's out. Not able to convert, but catches Rain trying to fight back. shadowgeko, winner's side of Grand Finals now. Talk about a dub.
何でも似合うとしか言いませんから。
For land.
Wins.
Alright, it is official that Glaceon Plush has been eliminated from loser's side of the bracket by EmoScoobyDoo, who will go on to fight Drax. Thanks for coming through, Glaceon Plush. It was a pleasure and a privilege to see a first-timer come through to play some games. Look forward to seeing you in the future sometime. You know, come back anytime. We'll welcome you with open arms. Sea Drive. Waiting in the wings. Team Bagels on their 2 side. In a moment. Alrighty, it sounds like we had a gamer coming in. Gamers come in. You know, this is what I like to see. Everybody in the chat, just in Discord, saying GGs, thanking everybody for coming through. It's a nice little community we got here. I'm glad I got a place to provide. I got time. I got a stream. I got all the things I can do to do what I do. And, you know, thanks for coming through, each and every one of you. You're the ones who making it possible. I'm glad you're working together to make it a pleasant place and community for each other. Little sippy of water. Alright, this is a match we've seen before. Bean Bagels versus Sea Drive. Bean Bagels not wasting any time, going straight to Bridget. Utica theme, hell yeah. Ooh. Sea Drive's starting aggressive. Saying earlier that they're tired, can't do anything but churn at this point in time, and proving it true. And Bagels. Playing a little more technical, as you might expect from Bridget. Not to say Gold Lewis ain't technical, not with the different inputs they can work with. This is a dire situation to be in. Team Bagels pushed back to the wall by the laser there. Really pushing Sea Drive to the corner. Using the meter to get a big confirm and applying pressure. This is still easily winnable for Sea Drive. Bean Bagels just needs to smother Gold Lewis here. Not quite able to get the punish there on the Roger dive. And this is what I mean when I say this match is easily winnable for Sea Drive. Not able to get a confirm. Ooh, not able to punish the DP. This is... Ah! It can get situation get real ugly real fast. It's looking to get ugly almost as fast now that Bean Bagels is so close to the wall. Oh my god. Not sure Sea Drive necessarily wanted a jumping BT. Perhaps a misinputted super led to a jump there and had to improvise. Does get the W nice and quick after the wall break though. Sea Drive. One on the board. Back into it right away. Bridge 2H may not look like a whole lot immediately, but it can be very disjointed. It's not a bad option to try and use against likes a BT to try and clash with it. The pickup from the throw there. Bridget is one of the rare characters who can meterlessly convert from a throw. Beanbagel's using it with great effect. Another super wall break immediately. Bridget lockdown is complete. Beanbagels. Having a nice position to keep C-Drive in the corner. These pressure strings for Beanbagels. Knows how to play the game. Has to deal with the red drone, and does so with a plum. Geez, that's just like 3 jabs there, and a BT. That's like 30% of Bridget's life. Just for the scoop, not quite with the timing to pick up off the throw. Ooh. I feel like both of these characters are 1 hit from death on each other. C-Drive, it's a mix-up. Just pokes through the drone, very nice. Beanbagels, recognizing how disjointed that far slash can get. No, that's a 5H, excuse me. They're very similar looking buttons.
Mankind knew that they...
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Ooh, C-Drive with first blood. Keeps that thing spinning. Oh, not able to get the... Killed, that would have killed. So that misinput was a big missed opportunity there. See that jumping P. Bagels. It's a nickel and dime in this matchup. Ooh! It's out a reversal BT and gets a good punish. Bagels. It's JS. Oh my gosh, the down pound 6H. You know, I know a good Undertaker downtown. Goes by 6H. Goes at the yo-yo. Oh my gosh, the flying fortress, the big 6'8", excuse me, BT through the air. T-Drive just closing it out. There's hardly a lot to talk about at that point. It's just, yeah, he swung, he do be swinging that coffin. Bagel straight back into it with Bridget. We saw Sin last week, but not this time.
Mankind knew that they cannot change.
Duel 1.
Sticking with Bridget though. Ooh, caught by the while backdashing, and this punish. D-Drive playing very aware of the resources Beanbagels has. Throws after trying to bait a burst that didn't come out. D-Drive already on set point. Beanbagels, almost no burst to their name. Doesn't look like they're gonna get it back unless they can make a miracle and pull a round out here. Little hiccup there, excuse me. Beanbagels is poking, finding that mid-range to condition Old Lewis to whiff while under the yo-yo pressure. Back throw incident. P-Drive has so much meter to work with. Good air-to-air from Bean Bagels fighting way out of that corner. And Bridget's JP is a heck of a button. I don't know if this is a controversial opinion or not, but Bridget has a good JP. Oh my gosh. Oh! C-Drive has another stock of security to work with. Bean Bagel spending the BRC just to stay alive and close things out. Big discrepancy in resources available. Will not see a round start White Wild Assault. We haven't seen one from C-Drive all set. Tends to be very, very low-key and judicious with how they use White Wild Assault C-Drive. Good use of the 5H to go through the drone again. Bean Bagels. You know, I'm starting to believe that this will turn around. C-Drive fighting back. Just, you know, quick little 15% on the board with a single BT. There's one thing that that yo-yo toss can do. It can bait out attempts to fight back. C-Drive doesn't have resources to really reverse the situation. It just has to wait it out and just gets flipped by them yo-yos while trying to do so. 2-2. Bagels. All even. At this point in time, we may see Bridget versus Dizzy winners finals. Wouldn't that be exciting to see? C-Drive. You know, Bean Bagel's managing to burst out, but already below half health just from those couple of hits. This with a mix, manages to get low. Continuing pressure with the yo-yo. C-Drive. Poking nicely with that BT. And again, Bean Bagel's so on point with these whip punishes and managing to bait out these counter pokes. There it is again, Bean Bagels. Converts with the killing machine, no wall break, confusingly enough. I don't know how it happened. Goes over the White Wild Assault, goes over the BT. Bean Bagel's looking in control. Has the positioning, has the resources. Throws on set point. C-Drive. We will see, at the very least, a Wild Assault from C-Drive before things end. Bridget is kind of notorious for donating burst because she needs to kill you with 1,000 cuts. Good use of the blue Wild Assault to try and eliminate the threat of burst there, as well as convert. C-Drive. Oh my gosh. Bagel's under pressure. This could be a major turnaround for C-Drive. Oh, it's gonna do it. Luigi situation. Ooh. No trade in the air. See C-Drive get the best of it. Applying pressure with the throw. BT. Oh, goes under. Bean Bagels has a chance here. C-Drive reasserting the pressure. Converting with PRC. Oh, the drone! With the perfect C-Drive. We'll move on to winner's side finals. That was a great little set there, huh? Alright, we're going to be moving on now. Loser side of top 8, where Drax got third last week is, you people. Silly names. Playing EmoScoobyDoo. Excuse me, what's going on? There we go. Oh, I feel you. I'm starting to feel my throat get quite dry as well. A little bit of aerial jousting that's resulted in trades and clashes and what have you in the air so far. And that H Kabari move is a heck of a button. Look at this, everybody's dodging over and going through each other's stuff. Ooh! PRC into air throw. This is a really interactive match. It's been fun to watch so far. And hey, it's only just started too. Drax in the corner. It's out now. EmoScoobyDoo with a big lead on the resources. Both these characters can mix really well, both high-lows and left-rights. EmoScoobyDoo got the best of it that round. With the 2H. Remember, 2H is fundamentally flawed. It should catch every backdash in the game in every situation you use it. If you know, you know. Ooh, and it does catch in that situation. EmoScoobyDoo. Ooh! As an air action, remember, getting hit in the air, blocking stuff in the air does reset your air actions. EmoScoobyDoo playing quite aware. Drax able to just close things out with a cheeky scoop. Got that thing. That was, I'm just a little out of sorts there on the production side. Don't mind me. Yeah, Drax is very spooky. I think Rain was saying a week or so ago that Drax and Teddy are cut from the same cloth and that they're both psychopaths. And I've never had the pleasure of playing Drax, but ever since Season 1, right, I've been firmly of the belief that Baiken is a gorilla character. And you can play this character like a gorilla. Ooh, goes under the Ozanson with the proper blocking. Ooh, the 2H! I've seen Baiken players try to tell me this move is bad. I don't know. Gorilla Baiken has always been awful, trust. And it's certainly working for Drax. Halfway to victory. EmoScoobyDoo does have the lead right now. Drax bursting. Interesting, interesting. Looking to turn this around, perhaps? Going into this round without a burst on the table. Ooh. It's just wailing is happening right here. EmoScoobyDoo. Ooh, managing to poke out. Yeah. We're seeing really good callouts from Scooby-Doo. Ooh, goes under. Very nice. You know, there's more than one way to call out a jump. Ooh. You know, the deflectable block from either side. Unfortunate, no burst on the table to deal with the follow-ups there. Drax 2. To see what EmoScoobyDoo can bring to the table to turn things around. Getting distance, neither one looking to really assert themselves. And EmoScoobyDoo get those plus frames with MLA. Spending burst. Drax doesn't turn. Essentially on final match of this set, Drax throws out the Hiragi to just score that damage and the knockdown. Oh my gosh, like, woof. Look at the damage! It turned around in a second. That's on set point. Because you're getting the punish and applying pressure. Good use of the note there. Remember, Baiken cannot parry, Baiken cannot parry projectiles or throws a Hiragi, so EmoScoobyDoo making great use of the tools to deal with Baiken's weaknesses, and you know, just going over the Hiragi in that situation, very nice. You think I'm gonna do the same thing? Nah. Oh my gosh, Yosansen though, it's so big, it's so active. You can hit you from the other side of the screen no matter what. And again, like, just a couple of hits and EmoScoobyDoo. It's looking dire after that last round where things are looking pretty good. I think the 2H to try and go under the note as it comes out is like maybe the best call I've seen from Drax all set long. And it paid dividends there at the very end. Scooby-Doo eliminated. Appreciate you coming through as always. Privilege and a pleasure. And look forward to seeing you in the future. Alright, SleepingSnorunt, Stinky Steve. A lot of S's in this next match with the names. Now, hold on. Gotta have the rest of our loser side matches come through first. You know, I don't think it's, has it happened before in WeebCup? I don't remember.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society.
I tell you what, I absolutely love the completely unsorted playlist, random playlist that Steve has every time he pulls up to a match. We'll have to see. I know that Steve generally does pretty well against the likes of Head Chef when they come through. So we'll have to see if Steve can handle how particularly wily SleepingSnorunt's Bedman can be. Uh-oh. And wily is what it is. Steve, very under pressure. Under pressure is kind of an understatement. And Snorunt taking the advantage. Getting these errors set up. Spin through. They're gonna head something. There we go. Nice 2H. You know, I was thinking about what Anji needs in the next patch, and I think his 2H needs something. It's just completely outclassed by 5H at this point in the game. Oh no! See, not quite able to finish things off with that RC, but manages to find the winning hit there. Now Snorunt, I'm managing to cross up there. It's definitely one of the trickier things Bedman has in their repertoire. The high-lows, the spins. Snorunt. It's that overhead there, the cheeky overhead. Inverts with the bomb for the W. We'll have to wait and see when Steve will parry. Hang on a second here. There we go. This vile move, the JS. You know what I mean about the completely unsorted playlist? I like the use of the 2K there. It can be used to bait a lot of Anji's faster options that can shut down Bedman's round start. The anti-air Toofy, you know, Gold Lewis isn't the only one who can do it. Not using the super, just throwing out the J. Oh my gosh. Thought for sure Steve was gonna dodge that. Good block from Steve. And she just scout out that 6H that can spook you. There it is! Not spending the meter after the parry though. Ugh. Ooh, just a run up 6P. Remember there, gotta be careful when throwing the butterfly. It is slow enough that you can fight back against it if you're looking for it. Snorunt is looking for something here, finding a 2K to poke out of the corner with. He can safe jump after this. And finds a nice little burst bait there. I like what Steve brings to the table. Ooh, nice throw. No, you're not gonna... Oh, not quite able to punish that. What a huge opportunity that was. Let's get the overhead there, Snorunt, looking to make up lost ground. And is finding these JS's. Oh my god. I don't know how not a single person managed to hit anybody there. Oh, see? That's the meter to deal with the Lift code there, and there it is. What are you referring to there in regards to Bedman's frame data? See Drivo always out here like Statler and Waldorf in the audience. Yeah, Beyblade is very punishable. I'm very surprised it didn't get punished there. It's like, what, minus 14, minus 16 in that area? Faust theme? Hell yeah. Seeing more fish. If there's one thing we know about Guilty Gear players, it's that they hate fish. Minus 12, gotcha. Be finding a throw. Snorunt does not want to get hit by dust, not at all. And checking on that butterfly. Good recognition of the situation. You can be minus there when you throw a butterfly. Maintaining pressure. Steve is blocking. Snorunt going for the gold. And getting it. Not quite sure if that was the best decision in the long run, but it's definitely going to send a message. What a 5-feet check! Oh my gosh, this man... You cannot anti-air that move. Man, Snorunt just does not want to have to deal with butterfly pressures fighting their way out of it. Ooh. And Steve just holding his ground, not getting high mode at all. Going for fish. Like Eddie Izzard would do, tells you can do. You can just slap in the fish, solve all your problems. Use it in place of a handshake. Like that JS is a mean. Oh no, it's gonna punish. If you say so, C-Drive, I'll trust you. Finds a punish. Just a punish, a big one. Steve on the verge of winning here, just needs one solid hit. Or it spends. Deflect. C-Drive? What do you think? Oh, there it is. There's the punish. You know, it's not the strongest punish, but it got the job done. Stinky Steve, 2-1. Yeah. You gotta bait that fish. There's one thing I know about fishing. You know, all these moves, some of these moves just can drop sometimes. It's something that happens. I don't like it, but, you know, just goes for a Fujin immediately. Beef. Getting a little ambitious with that Ko. Snorunt finds a big sweep. Yeah, 2H is one of the more consistent things you can use for Bedman for combo routes, if I recall correctly. Steve, no fear at all, just going in. Ooh, what an IP! Snorunt wants to hit that JS. Constantly hitting JS's. Oh my gosh. Steve, you must be calm with those Ko's. Oh! Oh! We used to deflect to try and keep Snorunt in the corner, but look at this movement. Just once out. Like a Halloween song. Didn't want to convert to Wild Assault. That's unfortunate. Must have not completed the input. Snorunt. with a round under the belt, is just fighting back against Steve, and it really has worked out well for them. This is getting really scrambly. Like, all these hits are hitting a little off-center. Nobody's quite getting... Ooh, nice! Nice baiting a backdash, getting the float slash there. Steve, not able to convert. It's getting real scrambly. There we find a nice consistent hit from the... Not quite able to convert it, though. The close slash, the counter hit far slash. Lovely, one of Anji's best starters. Steve on set point. Snorunt with the big 2H just to run in. The scoop, no error on deck. Now does have the OTG task B. That JS, you gotta be careful trying to get in on it. Neither of these players wants to hold anything. They will mash 2P and you cannot stop them. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. I know where this is going. Steve? Oh, he didn't do it. I was so sure that Steve was going to hit counter super. Okay. Spends the gold burst. Spends the YRC. Steve? Stopping the error. Oh no! Anti-scooped. What a spin! You spun there? You maniac! Steve! 3-1. What a hectic match.
Angie wins.
One of my favorite things to do in those kind of clash situations is to keep hitting buttons, and if they take you up on it, it's on you to watch your meter so that you know when to mash out the counter super because you think they're gonna keep mashing. That's my strategy for that situation, but I don't know, I think it was handled pretty well there. Okay, Snorunt, thank you for coming through. It's a pleasure as always, and look forward to seeing you when you next show up. I think we're gonna take it to winners finals right now. Shadowgeko and C Drive, come on down. Then we'll roll on over to loser's side. Wrap up top 8. Yeah, okay, gotcha. I appreciate the honesty, Steve. I was wondering if that's what you were doing, and I'm pleased I have the same Anji brain cell. I submitted something like that to Will It Kill one time, where I managed to mash it out against this Faust that was very determined to 2P me. No, or maybe it was 5P, I don't quite remember. We've got C Drive on one side. We're gonna have Shadowgeko coming through in just a moment. With any luck. You know, maybe it's another moment where someone is just a little busy at the moment, so we're gonna... You know, now's as good a time as any to catch your breath, get some water, that kind of thing. What are we talking about here? hit confirm a single 2p? What are we talking about? And we're talking about everybody's going back in time, talking about how my character suffered in the 1.0. I see how it is. Honestly, like, if we get any big changes for anything, I want Anji's 2H to do more damage. There's no point in using it right now, because 5H is just so much better. I want to see it do more damage or fulfill an entirely different function. It's Winner's Finals time.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts.
Heaven or hell?
こんにちは、国防長官さん。
ごきげんよう。ユーマを従えた女王様。
I didn't know they had a unique intro. Neat. I do think it's funny that, you know, Dizzy kind of is a cryptid if you think about it. Like, I know she's a gear, but she's definitely like... But what we're looking at now is... Whew, an early lead from shadowgeko mitigated. Just getting chunked by Gold Lewis there. C-Drive looking pretty well on top. Has the meter to laser, but it's not making it happen. There we go. There's a scoop. Close things out from C-Drive. Ooh! C-Drive definitely getting the better of that trade. shadowgeko once again looking to just take the corner and keep the pressure up. Blue Wild Assault. Oh, there's the meter. Ah! Just chunked away. Man, Dizzy's animations are so nice. You know, the ice spike hits so far out, you gotta be careful trying to use it to stop jumps. It really feels like the ice field is working out for the likes of corner carries, huh? Oh my gosh! Look at how bold shadowgeko is being, just running in with the wings. Blocking it out. Just blocking it out. All right. I do think it's really funny how Faust is officially a cryptid. It is very, very funny to me. Alrighty, we're into match 2 of Winners Finals.
Mankind knew that they cannot.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
There's that 5H paying big dividends throughout this whole bracket. Again. Just getting the ice field set up, using the 5H, using the Blue Wild Assault. It's really impressive how shadowgeko is just using all the tools in the box to the best of their abilities. It really feels like everything is synergizing proper with Wings of Light here. I was saying earlier, I didn't quite know what the vision for Dizzy's kit is, but it looks like it's really coming together for shadowgeko. Look at this range poking that Shadowgeko's just using to control everything. Those wings are nice, lovely golden brown. Beating the burst and getting the wings. This is looking like a clean sweep being set up here. C-Drive's gotta do something. C-Drive's gotta make some change happen. What that change is, I don't know. Maybe make a bit more use of the security gauge for neutral controlling tools. We saw the chain gun earlier. It feels like when it comes to meters, C-Drive just isn't making it quite happen. There's the slump. Oh my god. Yeah, this is like unprecedented levels of success with wings compared to what you see in other brackets. Shadowgeko on set point already. UK just whipping, allowing for C-Drive to start really chunking away. That is around on C-Drive's side there. Jump JK. 5H. Hey Hohenheim, what's good? Thanks for coming through. We're in Winners Finals right now. We've seen, as if you look in the comments there, you may see people commenting on how successful Shadowgeko has been with Wings of Light activations, and it's really impressive. I was talking earlier about the big steppy being a low crush move, and you saw that play out in front of you right there. No clean sweep in Winners Finals for Shadowgeko. We may see a comeback yet. Gold Lewis has enormous robbery factor. I feel like Dizzy also has some robbery factor going. Maybe not to the same extent that the Gold Lewis does. But if you're not careful, you know, Wings of Light will activate. Yeah, Shadowgeko has been coming through pretty often and putting in the work. It's been real impressive. I know I've talked before about how I'm a bit of a cryptid looking for matches, but I may have to seek out Shadowgeko for the match experience at some point. Good whip punish. With the BT against the fire knife there. D-Drive with burst. Shadowgeko. Now, if there's any good place to use burst, it's there, but great recognition of Shadowgeko. C-Drive has so much meter to work with. It's poked out. There's the narwhal, you'll love to see it. I think Shadowgeko got third. The first bracket they entered in was with Bridget. They got second, and they got third 3 or 4 weeks ago, if I recall correctly. Behind Drax and BT. That was Unica release week. I remember because Rain was playing Unica. Shadowgeko is close to winning here. They'll have to contend with a wall break and 50 meter and a white wild assault. You know, I said C-Drive is very judicious, very reserved with using wild assault. I think C-Drive got a little ambitious there. No, they had 100 meter. I misread that. C-Drive halfway to victory with a round and a match under their belt. C-Drive with a nice anti-air. Shadowgeko is now kind of looking on the back foot, despite how the numbers play out. And Shadowgeko is playing very aware of that burst. There it is! Baiting it. As I said, playing aware. Oh my gosh, if shadowgeko gets a wall splat now, it is over. Now, shadowgeko doesn't want to spend any meter because the wings were active. I totally missed when the wings were active. I totally did not see the wing activation at all. That's so interesting. Like, it's not. I wouldn't say it's like a common interaction, but you know, if you use your minigun, you know, you're eating up time, and you got to consider when the wings are active or not. If you miss the activation like I did, you're just building more time in the opponent's favor. Very interesting. You're right, I did miss that. I totally missed that. Wait a minute, what is this? Rain versus Drax. Did somebody count a score already or something? What's happening here? Well, it's good to see shadowgeko. Oh, Drax DQ'd. I missed that. Thank you for making me aware of that. Oops. Unfortunate. The faded match, not so faded after all. Looking forward to commentating that. Yeah, I totally missed that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Alright, we're gonna have Bean Bagels versus Stinky Steve up next. Just 4 hoodies in the park.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves,
脇のもので片付けるぜ。
うちが勝ったらおひねりくださいね。
Bridget versus Angie.
See, I didn't want to interrupt the intro or anything, but I got a chuckle there because that's the same. There's the intro screenshot there, Heaven or Hell overlay to Anji. It's the same screen cap as that really deep fried Anji with Hell just overlaid over him comes from, and I was stifling my laughs. It's an interesting. This matchup is one. I have a regular training partner who's a Bridget, so I got a pretty decent amount of insight in this set here. That said, Bean Bagels does play very differently from how my training partner plays, so it's going to be interesting to see where things change. Bean Bagels not looking to commit to reversal, and it pays dividends. Good patience. I think sweep at round start is the call because it can low profile Bridget's pokes, and trying to swing into the likes of a far slash or a 5H can be really dicey for Anji. Especially since I don't think 2S can low profile. Something that Anji has, it's not exceptionally useful, but it can give you more information, you know, is you can use Butterfly to check what kind of yo-yo Bridget's throwing at the longer ranges. Again, not super useful. Dash blocking is probably more rewarding in the whole of things. Oh my gosh! Did that really just happen? Ooh, caught by the co. Gamers. full burst and 1 round apiece. Steve spends first. It really feels like this is playing out almost the opposite here. It's of how I was talking earlier. Steve throws the butterfly and Bean Bagels just throws the yo-yo through it. Throw incident. Not quite able to get the pickup on the butterfly. Dust. Ooh. Steve is staggering. Steve wants that burst and he didn't get it. Fish. Just goes under any kind of attempt to fight back and finds the confirm there. Stinky Steve. One on the board. Excuse me, I was just concerned over something in the corner of my eye, but it's nothing. I should be able to handle things just fine on my own. And this is what makes what you just saw is what makes the match so difficult for Anji on paper, is that Bridget just outranges Anji by an order of magnitude. The 2S, the far slash, the 5H can both outrange all of Anji's similarly speedy pokes. But Anji's damage is the really even the odds. Good crouch confirm with that 2H. Just fights through it. Sometimes you just gotta call it out. Sometimes you just gotta get whip punished. Bagels keeping the pressure up. There you go, 6P. That's a great tool to call out any kind of projectile toss at that range. Bean Bagels drop to the ground, likely to... I'm not quite sure. I'm sure Steve has a plan, though. There's always the opportunity to go for grounded resets, that kind of thing, but one thing I've been told lately is I need to take wall breaks more, so maybe in my mind I'm thinking of a different way how I play. It's an overhead in there. Not a whole lot of damage. Spend the burst. But Steve is ready, had the meter on deck. That really is, despite all of Bridget's advantages, the way to even the odds in this matchup. Steve can play pilot Anji in such a belligerent way. 2-0, Steve's favor. It's 2 blue characters with red weapons. You know, just because the palettes are similar. There goes Steve, under pressure with no burst now. Close to the corner. That would have been so funny if the Dust had managed to get the launch out. Quite in range to punish after that Nagi hop. There is an option Steve can be using as a safe jump, but it's not really presented itself a whole lot, so I'll hold back on expounding on it at the moment. Biggest counter hit there, but that's what you gotta do. You gotta wait for the fish baited out. I wonder if Bean Bagels just doesn't have that much experience with it. Come to think of it, my training partner is my training partner, so of course they'd have more experience with it. Something to put in the books for the future. Bagels with one on the board. Match 4 coming up now. The set, Bean Bagels. Tries to take initiative. It's Steve who lands the first blow, gets a gold burst. It's gonna be real spicy if Bean Bagels gets clipped. Ooh. Was just thinking good use of the flex shield to push Steve out, but unfortunately, Steve must have been playing aware of the range discrepancy. Steve on set point now after a few odd interactions. That really is kind of what this matchup wants to what kind of benefits this matchup has for Anji. Scrambles can change into really rewarding situations for Anji. For Bridget, not as much. Kind of needs to rely on nickeling and diming, building risk. As has been said before, Bridget is a real attention donator, burst donator in this game right now. And that does feel like it's by design. She's got great mix-up. There's one character you don't want to give burst to, it's Anji. Excellent use of Wild Assault this character has. Steve. Ooh. Butterfly. Snuck past. Bean Bagels. Bean Bagels is making it work now, huh? Steve. Looking to get sent through the wall. I think if he can land a big counter hit, he can come back, but it's not going to happen. Not unless it's a draw. It's a draw. Bean Bagels. Evening things up. Tell you what, it's been a night of back and forths and intrigue and whatnot between DQs and character switches and confusion and all that jazz. It would be very fun, nice to see Bean Bagels bring Bridget to the finals. It's been quite a while since we've seen Bridget quite so high up. And like I've said before, it's been a while since Bean Bagels has come through. Steve running in. Ooh! Look at that patience from Steve, just letting Bridget aggress. Finding a whip punish on that throw there. Was in the Roger assist. Ooh. Both these gamers have a bunch of meter to work with. Bagels going back to position. Gets whip punished. You gotta land with the Roger there. Cancel it or something. Steve going for an early Wild Assault to try and maybe win neutral. Ooh! From downtown. Bean Bagels must got caught sticking out of hurt box. CP's out. It hurts like heck. That reversal. Oh no. Scammed by the empty air dash throw. Keep cleaning up here. 3-2. And just burgle the match away. But you know what, Bean Bagels? It was a pleasure and a privilege to see you come through as usual. Hope to see you more often in the future. Okay. Losers finals now. Rain and Stinky Steve. If I recall, Rain was the one who put Steve in loser's side of the bracket to begin with. And a few weeks back, Steve was the one who sent Rain to the loser's side of the bracket. So we could see an upset happen.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts.
Heaven or hell?
言い訳でも考えときな。
全力で来てください。
Kai versus Angie.
Duel 1. Let's rock!
Losers finals, let's rock. Ooh. Caught with the 6H there. Primo button of Kai's. Great range, great speed. Woo. Too close. When they're inside certain ranges, you gotta be careful of using charged stun edge from Oki tool, or else you might find yourself getting counter supered. Steve getting the 2H, not quite getting the big confirm, but still taking a big chunk out. Oh my gosh. Okay, Steve working with the optimal confirm there. Wow, that's a big chunk of damage. Alright. Steve wringing out as much damage as possible from that interaction. Oh, you know. Oh, if only, you know. Why can you spin through YRC, but it beats parry, you know? It's so funny. It would be so funny if it worked that way. I mean, you know. Okay. Rain stepping it up. Here's Johnny.
Duel 1. Let's rock!
Slick in the red. Steve. Out of the way of the car. Steve is just finding the right positioning this evening. It's the fan super. Hard knockdown has a safe jump on deck here. Doesn't even need this safe jump. Won't kill. Johnny has huge guts. Catching the backdash. Steve is just picking all the right options. Ooh. Not quite. Maybe drifted a little too far forward. The fan didn't quite connect. But it has the parry super. Looking for a frame trap there, perhaps. Instead finding a trade. Rain. Oh my gosh. No, RC to keep it safe. Great awareness from Rain. Stinky Steve still has the advantage. Rain's gotta, you know, Rain's not gotta get clobbered by a dust. So it gets clobbered by the overhead. Rain is very much on the back foot here. Unexpected, but well within the realm of possibility brought up earlier. We'll have to see. Can Steve keep this tempo? Or will Rain adjust? What can Rain do to adjust? Maybe try to seek a longer range. Oh my gosh, Steve spinning? What a gamble. Around a character with a very strong 9-frame / gold burst? Okay, Rain opting to play a bit more reactive now. It seems like the play for Steve has been to play a bit more preemptive. Okay, Rain's starting to adjust. You know, those neutral triangle pillars. Maybe play a bit more proactive here, a bit more preemptive there. Alright, Rain taking the initiative and getting a pretty clean W. Steve is looking to really cash out on the spins. Getting a big counter hit. Oh my gosh, not quite able to confirm into... I don't know how that wasn't able to confirm. Maybe Steve delayed the Gatling a bit too much, but that would have been a wall break for sure. Steve blocking the overhead. Remember the cards. Make it very deadly. Good wall clump setup, and Rain will close out with a super on the board with aplomb. Yeah, we've seen a lot of JPs from a bunch of gamers. We've seen it from Eno, we've seen it from Johnny, we've seen it from Anji, seen it from Bridget. Yeah, Rain making the adjustments. Steve still has a couple lengths of a lead here to work things out. See if a big health character like Anji can make some of these gambles work, whether Steve will adjust to playing a different way, playing a bit more slower. It's P. He's looking to take the corner and shimmy. It seems like Steve is, again, sticking to playing proactive, but with a bit more of a preemptive bent. Excuse me, still playing preemptive, but playing a little more with a proactive kind of angle here. Ooh. Alright, Steve. Doing things pretty well, but Rain is just moving. You know, when you wear the red ones move faster, and Rain is moving. Woo! Oh, not quite able to convert there, Steve. Great call out from Rain. Reversal through it. Geez, that was only the first round of this fourth match in this set. But Steve is looking to play a bit more reactive now. Oh, how things shift. Rain is really attacking with precision there. What a conversion! Not really going for too much off that bar slash counter hit. Could have gotten some big damage. Well, this is gonna kill for sure. 2-2 now. Rain's stealing that tempo back from Steve, and it's all Rain right now. The comeback is real. We could see it happen. But you know, if there's anything I know about both these gamers, is either one of them can get a W in this match this evening. It's not over by a long shot. I've seen Rain has adjusted well, Steve has started to show different signs of adjustments, can still really vary things up. And I got a sneaky feeling that Steve might have just the right tools to deal with how Rain's playing. These whip punishes, looking great. Getting the plus frames. Steve, aware of that run-up throw, just dashing in. Hop on in. Little mistimed there. Ooh, okay. It's the safe jump. Put by the card. Okay, Steve. On set point. These Kara Nagihas, these Kara hops and whatnot are paying off for Steve. I feel like both these gamers kind of want things to go fast at this point. Oh no, oh yeah, Rain definitely wants things to go fast at this point. Don't want Steve to get any more burst back. Megan Senga. What have we punished? Both these gamers have got whip punishes on dock tonight. Okay, it's double Luigi time. The fish. Or just manages to find out Steve delayed the frame trap too much. Look at the way these interactions are playing out. It is freaking neck. Steve. Not quite getting the reset. And I think Rain is definitely starting to get the hang of shooting down these Kara Nagiyas that Steve is using to close distance. And suddenly the momentum is very in Rain's favor. Oh my gosh. That's it for sure. Rain on top. Steve going home in third. Very nice showing. Oh damn it, is this losers? This is losers semis. Damn it, I misjudged what I was. The one match in losers quarters made me think it was losers semis. Ah, I've been clowned again. Steve not going home in third, unfortunately. Going home maybe fourth or fifth. We'll have to see. C Drive's gonna come up next. I've been bamboozled. Hate it when that happens. C Drive. Swooping in with the money in the bank. You know, it's the one match in losers quarters made me think it was the semis. But I've been hornswoggled, bamboozled, japed, confused. I've been confused all evening, let's be real.
Instead of reflecting on themselves, they blame the beasts.
Heaven or hell? 軍事力の差を見せてやる。
Now, hold on. Who skipped who here? We'll have to see. Two fellas in red. Rain establishing space. On paper, just when it comes to normals, Rain definitely has the range advantage, but the Eric BT could really make Rain sad. Yeah, Steve heading home in fourth place there. Appreciate you coming through, but right now it's a battle for third. Do you see this movement from Rain? Ooh, just checking the Insenga. A privilege not many other characters have, able to check Insenga with a 2P. believe that didn't kill. One more touch will do it. Ooh. The OTG. Tumble. Oh my god. Suddenly, we can see a laser. There it is! You know, you got a challenge after the card toss. Good awareness from C-Drive. The RC Bandit. Rain screaming to the heavens about her RC going away. Ooh. Not quite in range to punish there. All the praise I've given Goldu is just 2P. It has very poor horizontal range. C-Drive just getting clobbered. Stands back up to get clobbered again. He's gonna pull back into the lead here. Hoping pull back into the lead. Gotta tie first. Smart from C-Drive. Stay inside the card's position on screen. Right into the drone from Rain. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, just getting spun around like in a washing machine there. Rain? Hit by the big steppy C-Drive. Halfway to victory. A match and a round under the belt. Rain is taking strong early lead here. Manages to get the double and Senga wall break, the most feared of wall breaks. Now there's a super. Ooh. Just at the overhead, C-Drive. Not even trying to burst. 1-1 now. Gonna make C-Drive white wild assault at this rate. You're so right. Alrighty. One apiece now. We're taking an early lead with Wild Assault on the table. C-Drive doesn't get a chance to burst. Now it's Rain just bullying with superior range. All Rain right now. Perfect, even. Now it's Rain's turn to be halfway to victory. Great use of the flex to push Goldlewis out. Ooh, the minigun. Marty Minigun makes an appearance. Ooh, the car toss. And 6P your way out of that, unfortunately. Ooh. Ooh. You know, getting hit by counter hit and Sengi can make you with a stare down. At this rate, Rain just gonna... Ooh! I have to say, just wait things out and let Chip take it home, but... Nah, bait out that YRC. 2-1 Rain's favor. Shadowgeko over here praying in the chat that Gold Lewis wins. C-Drive wins here. Never been a bigger C-Drive fan than right now. C-Drive is already down a whole bunch of life, and Rain in a bad position. This could be anyone's match to lose. A little too early to punish that deflect. Backdash BRC. It's been a popular option this evening. C-Drive gets clipped before the drone can start to take up space. Won't have the positioning to go for the laser. Just a little too P to close it out. Rain. Hit by the JD. You know, you gotta be careful with that. Again, great use of deflect. Rain's been really on point with the deflect to try and bait out this BT pressure. We did see a whiff punish, not a whiff punish earlier, but a whiffed deflect earlier, so I have to check the records at some point, see what happened there. C-Drive. Just dashing out. Finding the right timing. Can take this match. Rain. You know, just air dash in. Card RC in. C-Drive. There's a burst. I think this could very likely close it out, but Goldus is a chunky boy. Okay. We can see a BRC. There it is, yeah. C-Drive hanging in there, staying alive. I want to point out something towards the end of that last round. Rain swooping in very nicely to prevent any kind of satellite laser shenanigans there. Great awareness. C-Drive. Playing patient though. Getting hit by an empty low. But by the overhead, converted with the card into the super. And this is Rain now. This is Rain's game. C-Drive has more resources for now. With that positive, yeah, Rain's pulling even. Depends on Wild's. The stare down. My eyes got as big as dinner plates there. Anytime I see the stare down. You know, you don't want to make a single sound. You don't want to scare one of them to make one of them move too quickly, you know? 3-1, Rain's favor. Rain moving on to Grand Finals against Shadowgeko. Thanks for coming through, C-Drive. It was a privilege and a pleasure to see you come through as usual. A great, fun match at the very end. Now, we'll be moving on to Grand Finals. Definitely not the match you might have been expecting. The characters, anyway. No long intro, just get straight into it. Let's rock. Shadowgeko is dooming in the chat about having to face down Johnny, and getting shot by Mistfiner like that. Yeah, Wings of Light down. Shadowgeko's been riding on Wings of Light this whole bracket. Seeing characters can shut it down fairly easily, you know, that's gotta be disheartening. Flip by the overhead, no pickup. Shadowgeko's gotta make advantage of this. The wings up, has the ice field, has a mix up there. Cross up, has another ice field. Oh my gosh. Rain, all of a sudden, from one drop comes within an inch of her life. Rain. There we go, 5H. That's the trick for Shadowgeko, it seems. Both these characters with these big, very long-range pokes. Woo! XP can't do much against the likes of 2S. Stupid J. Great use of the Flex Shield. Getting a sweep setup, getting a fish, getting the wings. There's a lot going on with how Shadowgeko's playing the game right now. Lovely golden brown on those wings. Get cooked. Out of range now. Ray can easily seal this match back. Has a bunch of meter to do so. Oh, not quite. Able to get the proper confirm. Because he has 5 guts, remember. And that's Rain on the first step. He's taking this set. Gecko now has a big hill to climb. I've been saying that out of all the matches this bracket, Johnny is probably the most miserable one. Sticking with Dizzy, believing in your character. Nice. Peck with the 5k there. It'll convert into wing setup. No. You burst now. Shadowgeko wants wings. Shadowgeko wants this ice field up constantly. Just using it to slide on in. Uh-oh. Recognizing the RC situation, Rain closing things out. It's Senga counter hit, you know. Gonna do a grip. Oh no, caught by the overhead. Gotta force the burst. What a whip punish. Nice 5k you got there. Check out this 5k. Rain coming up on a reset here. Just needs one more match to do so. Hang on a second. Let me see if I remember the exact... Yeah, there we go. Taken to the air, Shadowgeko. Again getting early Wings of Light. Set up. Oh no, you're not quite able to properly trade. This Finer beats Busy to the punch there. Rain. Not getting hard knocked down. Finding a great opportunity to just move on in. This Finer step. Oh, punishing the YRC. You know, don't need anything fancy. Don't need any trick shot combos to carry on. Just go straight into the super. Comes a stare down once the wings are out, huh? Wanna get too close. SleepingSnorunt. Verge of the victim of a bracket reset, Grand Finals reset. And Rain is determined to make it happen. Just getting the resources necessary, recognizing it, and executing on it perfectly. Ball in 2S. Oh no. Okay, back throw incident for Shadowgeko. Maybe able to get something started here. Ooh. Whip punish on the 6P. Rain gonna reset this bracket. Grand Finals Rev 2 coming to you now. Rain drawing first blood. SleepingSnorunt not finding a chance to set anything up because of that burst. Taking hits early. Rain has the corner, has the cards, has the resources. This won't kill. Ooh. Yeah, just call out Yazanson yourself, and I make those ASCII stuff usually with base it around people who have been regulars at the time, and I haven't had a chance to really add anything too much else. It's why I have a 6P for Testament there. We had a Testament player at the time I started on it, but I haven't shown up in quite a while. SleepingSnorunt takes a wall break. You know, Mikhail's sword, no slouch when it comes to range, but it's finer. Just a little fat. Ooh. Great punish on that throw. SleepingSnorunt's gotta dig deep. Characters. Rain is just not getting bursted at all, playing really safe. 1-0 Rain's favor. And for that reset. Taking a second here. We seeing a character swap? No. As I said earlier, SleepingSnorunt does have a Bridget that they play occasionally. Oh, a color swap. Okay, okay, okay. You know, it might be over after this. Again, making great use of the blue Wild Assault set up wings. Great use of the sword to punish the 2S there. Rain doesn't have any burst to escape that wing setup there. Not the hugest chunk of damage, but Shadowgeko. Let's take a chunk out of Johnny. Closing out with a dust. Ooh. A little bit of dash dancing going there. But that huge cranked wrist, not able to fully capitalize on it, but this will? No, not quite. This is a miserable situation to be in. Back to the wall. Wrist cranked, no life. Up against maybe one of the longest range characters in the game. Rain 2-0 in Grand Finals. This reset. Potentially a clean sweep on the line. Match 3, Grand Finals reset. Shadowgeko with the wings. Rain. Great use of the air stall with Miss Finer. No fear of the wings, just runs in for the scoop. Not quite reaching high as you'd want to catch Johnny. Again, a case where Pale Sword just loses to Mist Finer. OTG Mist Finer. Rain on bracket point. Tournament point. Look at this movement. Able to stack pressure so effectively. Shadowgeko, risk on the table. Only about 25% of their life left is gonna get clipped. I think that's gonna do it. I'm like 99% sure. Oh yeah, definitely. I know Dizzy has high guts, but man, what damage. 3-0 for Rain. And that's gonna do it. Great showing by Shadowgeko. Coming through and showing what Dizzy can do. Appreciate it. Very nice. That's gonna do it for WeebCup 202. Rain is your champion. Appreciate y'all coming through this evening. Normally I'd just send y'all to raid somebody, but hey Guts, what's good? Thanks for coming through. Come through on the bracket sometime if you're free, and if you're not, you know, totally fine. I appreciate you coming over through and saying hi. Like I was saying, normally I would just send y'all on your way, but I'm gonna give a quick shout out to someone I've raided before. That'd be Gamma Chris. He is going to be streaming the next couple of days, doing some charity work for raising money for Trans Lifeline. So if you're available tomorrow, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, you know, come through and say hi to Gamma Chris. Alright, that'll do me for now. Hey, it's Pride Month. Trans rights. Happy Pride Month to every last one of you. And I'm gonna send y'all on your way now. Who can I send you to? Geek, maybe? Talking about nothing. They doing their beginner? I don't know if they're doing the beginners this week, so let's... Milby is playing Ultimax. That could be pretty fun. Oh man, I forgot that Dot was playing that absolutely cursed Star Wars game. I might have to... I raid Dot a lot though, so let me see. I'm gonna send you to... You know, it doesn't matter if it's a beginner night. I'm gonna send y'all to Bracket About Nothing this evening. Typically, I try to avoid sending y'all to other Guilty Gear streams because it's funnier that way. But I'll save you from the likes of a cursed Star Wars game. Go say hi to Bracket About Nothing, fellas. Y'all have a good rest of your evening, and take care.